Okay, call this regular council meeting for April the 25th, 2017 to order. Do we have anybody who wants to do a prayer?
Sure.
You're going to do it?
Yep.
Okay.
Lord, thank you for the opportunity to serve our neighbors and citizens of this community. Pray that we would deliberate with wisdom. Pray that we would be compassionate, that we would be wise, and that we would be good stewards of all that's been entrusted of us. Pray for the members of our community, that they be healthy and that they live a joyful life. Pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I forgot to ask the clerk to call the roll.
Cavode, Dries,
Here.
Halter, here. Hermes, here. Lee,
Here.
Walther, here. Moore.
Here. Okay, we have the minutes of the regular council meeting of March 28th and the council meeting and work session of, no, that was canceled. So any comments or changes on the minutes?
We also had the minutes for the public hearings
From March the 28th.
from March
Yes.
the 28th.
Yep.
Okay. All righty.
I move that we accept those minutes as presented.
Minutes
Second.
accepted. Okay. All right, we have a new police officer. You sworn in? All right. And he didn't put his name in. Okay, repeat after me. I, Philip M. Means,
I, Philip M. Means,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the state of Ohio
I do solemnly swear to support the Constitution
and the laws
and laws of
of the United
the
States,
United States,
even though it's a big print on it. The Constitution and laws of the state of
the
Ohio,
Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio,
and the charter of the village, and the ordinances of the village of Greenhills,
and the charter of the village and the orders of the village of Greenhills,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of office of police officer,
discharge the duties of officer of police officer,
to which I have been appointed.
to which I have been appointed.
So help me God.
Yes, I can take another one.
Yeah, good, Jonathan, good.
Ready and wait.
Okay.
I wanted just to have this opportunity to let Philip introduce himself to members here and to council.
Hi, Council, how you guys doing? I'm Philip Means. I'm from the city of Dayton, Ohio. I recently graduated from the Sinclair Police Academy, and I've been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. My mother, she's been, my backbone through this whole process. So once I got that call from the chief, letting me know that they're going to offer me the job, I couldn't be more excited to support a great city like the village of Greenhills, and I can't wait to start and back to city. So,
Thank you.
Glad you're here.
thank you.
Be safe.
Congratulations, sir.
And again.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations on this thing.
Congratulations, Mom.
Did a good job. Okay, this is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council or to ask questions of concern to them. When recognized, please come forward to the lectern, give your name and address, and state your comments or questions. Council meetings are tape recorded for ease of transcription. Comments are limited to 3 minutes.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Patricia Bender, 29 Handle Lane. You all know me. One of the first things I want to ask is, was there a mission statement for the year that was developed during your retreat that you had in February? Is there anything the
No.
village is actually working on as a purpose to be together?
I know it's been a topic a number of retreats, but I don't know if it's been summed up other than, what's in the charter.
Right, I think that's the only mission
But I would
statement we
agree
have.
with you.
So you're just going to do status quo,
No.
basically? Or
whatever's
do you
in
have
the
like
charter.
goals or?
Yes, we have goals.
Certainly we have
Yeah.
goals.
Okay, so are they like somewhere I can look them up to see what the goals are of the village?
Is there a particular reason?
Well, yeah, because I'm a resident here and
Okay.
would like to know
All
how
right.
I can participate in being more active in the village.
Well, I'll let you know what the finance committee is working on.
Yes, okay, so
Okay.
there really isn't a mission statement per se, just committee events and what you have plans. So one of my first questions is, since you don't have anything real specific there, did you guys decide anything, Yvonne, on the benches? We talked about
Yes.
that back in the fall, and we met with the community
Yeah.
development.
Yes, and you'll run over your 3 minutes if we get into a discussion back.
Okay,
and
so you can
forth,
discuss it when I sit down. Then the next one is, I was just wondering about the walking trail. Do those have up signs now that people can be actually led to know where they're going to go next?
There are signs on the pavement.
So they're all down?
All right, well, let's
I don't-
answer these questions after she finishes her.
Sits down? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to answer those two? Those are really all I have.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right, well, you can answer her question
Sure.
there. She's,
well, I'll cover it on the community development section when it comes to me talking about my area. of
On what we're
responsibility.
doing with the benches and the signs?
Yeah, and it's already in the minutes
Okay.
from the last minute, or for the last meeting we had
Meeting.
on the 14th.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Hi all, Doug Kohler, 53 Ilona. I'm very glad to be back. I've been gone for almost a month. I spend a lot of time up at the shopping center, and I know there's a lot of movement going on, a lot of new people moving in and out, and I get asked a lot of questions. And I was wondering, I haven't had a chance to come to you directly and ask, do we have a packet, a welcome packet, a welcome to here, here's what you need to do? What do I tell you? I can tell them to call up there, but it'd be nice if we had something friendly to introduce to them. And I don't know if we do, some kind of, I'm up there a lot, so I hear a lot, okay? So if I could get something on that, let people know, hey, okay, yeah, talk to this person, they'll want to sit down and have coffee with you and explain things. It's kind of what I was looking for. I see a lot of growth and potential going on over here now. Has a lot of things still working on, but it's moving. Whereas in the past with our previous owner, gravity was going to take its toll on the place, okay? So we've got gravity at bay and we're moving forward. The far side I think is actually starting to look good. We've got a lot of people moving in over that way here. So I'm pretty excited, but I want to be positive with the people and let them know what they need to do, the proper way, who to talk to, so we can move forward. That's kind of what I'm looking for. But thank you, and I'm really glad to be back. It's been a long time.
yeah, and you missed some of that information when you were away.
I know. I couldn't even watch on TV. We were so busy.
Okay,
Oh.
all right.
I think we're out of people.
Yep, that's it. Nobody else. All right, the municipal manager, Yvonne Kovac.
Thank you. I didn't have time to prepare a full report, but I do have a couple of things that I wanted to mention. First, I'm real proud Mike Castor has completed his test, passed his test for the applicator license. So that should be a big help to us, not only at the golf course, but elsewhere in the village. I wanted to mention a new program, our Village Headlines, that is a new email notification service that we'll have to, you can go on the first page of our website and enter your email, and then you will receive 1 or 2 updates a week from the village with information that, just current information. So we're pretty excited about that and hope you will all sign up. And then I did want to make mention that Arbor Day is scheduled for this Saturday at 10 a.m. and we are really hoping there aren't thunderstorms. So stay tuned on that.
Oh, let's knock on wood.
Okay, good. We'll know how that's going to turn out at this point in time.
Good underneath, I'm sure.
Is that it?
It is.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for sending me the location map thing, and I just went there. We completed the transaction for the tree at Schroeder's, and he said he would be delivering it at 9 a.m.
Great.
Because I told him that our time was 10.
Yeah,
And he said
that'll
he
be
likes to be
fine.
an hour earlier there.
Okay, super.
And all what you put in there, that you were going to have a flag and the whole thing. So he
Great.
says, don't worry, I'll find it.
Okay,
So you got
great,
it,
thank
yeah.
you.
Okay.
Okay. Law Director Jeff Forbes.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things I can report on, and I can't remember if we've talked about this one before or not, but about the state law that went into effect last month, basically removing municipal authority to regulate what are called small cell facilities in the right-of-way. Just wanted to give you an update on that. A number of lawsuits have been filed across the state of Ohio. In fact, I think there are currently lawsuits pending in 5 different counties across the state, challenging the constitutionality of that law. And in the most recent one, actually the city of Cincinnati filed its own action too, so there is a pending action right here in Hamilton County. So we should be getting some guidance from the courts on whether that statute is going to withstand the challenge or not. But one of my other municipal clients is actually a party in one of those cases. So because of that, I get all the updates. I'm on an email distribution list now, so I will be sure to keep you posted on how that litigation goes and the effect it might have on municipalities, especially here in Hamilton County. And the only other thing I'll report on, and I'll do it here. I don't think it's necessary for any executive session, although it is pending litigation. The auto body injunction lawsuit that we filed, I just want to keep you posted on that. Nothing secretive to tell you. I can tell you that the owner of the property, Village Gate, has been successfully served with the summons. And what we found out is that the actual auto body shop has basically, when you do service for the first time, it's through certified mail, and they have refused to sign for the certified mail, and it's come back unclaimed. Next step is then we can have the court send it regular mail, and that will successfully get them served as well. It's already been scheduled. The court has already scheduled just an initial case management conference. So again, as we progress through that, I'll keep you posted. But at this point, we're still in trying to get the defendants properly served.
Comments or questions?
I have 2 questions. Number one, when you send it for the regular mail, do you do the certify without the signature? In other words, that you can follow the delivery time, so you have something that says it was delivered such and such a day, such and such a time?
Well, actually, I don't send it in the mail.
Well, I know.
The clerk of court's office
Yeah.
does. When they send it certified mail, yes, you can track it through the website. To tell you the truth, when they send it by regular mail, I don't know if they do it.
Because what I do is I send what is called a priority mail,
Right.
and they don't require a signature or anything, and I just can follow
Right.
I track it.
And I don't know the answer to that, but
Okay.
it's out of our control because it's how the clerk of court's office.
Okay,
handles
and then second, any other development about the budget in Columbus for the small municipalities and the governor and
No,
his
with
desire
respect to this, the centralized collection
Yes.
issue, no, not that I have seen.
Okay.
No. I mean, it
Okay.
has not been, the budget has not been adopted as presented.
Oh, well, I know
So-
that, but I'm saying what other
No, I've
thoughts
not
or...
seen any further action.
We did send the signed letter, so, and a lot of other municipalities did as well. Okay.
Well, they've been on vacation for the last couple of weeks, pretty much.
Well,
Keep
they're-
'em there.
Yeah.
I don't know, are they, I assume they're back now, but I haven't,
Yeah, I think they just went back
yeah.
for the new session.
Back on the small cell, if there's a court case in 5 different counties,
Yeah.
my guess is
Could
that
you
every
get 5
judge.
different results?
Yeah, could you get 5? How is that aggregated, or is it not, or?
I can tell you that at least, it's sort of interesting because the plaintiffs, the various municipalities that have done it, they have the ability to file it in whatever court, whatever county they're in. The state, and they all named the state of Ohio as the defendant. Whenever you're going to challenge the constitutionality of a state statute, you name the state of Ohio as the defendant. The state of Ohio actually has the option to remove all of them to Franklin County, so it's easier for them, in essence. We were just talking about this at a bar association meeting. The state has not done that. The state has actually started to file answers in all the various courts. One of the other parties that has what we call intervened into the case, or sort of inserted themselves into it, is they're called CTIA. It's the Cellular Technology Industry Association or something. It's basically a lobbyist group that represents the carriers. They've intervened in I believe all of the cases, or at least I know 3 or 4 of them. They have actually filed a motion to consolidate some of the cases in Franklin County. But again, it hasn't been ruled on yet. So I don't want to guess anyone's
Stay
strategy.
tuned.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to someone who used to be an assistant Ohio Attorney General, and he said when this happens, a lot of times what the state will do is they will look and see what judge the cases get assigned to, and see what they know about that particular judge, and if they feel like they have a good shot with that judge, they'll stay there. They'll go to Cuyahoga County and Summit County and Lucas County and pick.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Clerk of Council, Catherine Lives.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The following all were posted as required. The April 2017 Community Calendar, Ordinance Number 2017-05 LNR, and Resolution Numbers 2017-11 SNS, 12 SNS, 13 SNS, and 14 LNR, notices of the Finance Committee meeting of April 13th, cancellation of the April 11th, 2017 Council meeting work session, and notices of the Records Commission meeting of April 26th and the Planning Commission meetings of April 25th and May 9th, 2017. And if there are no questions, that will conclude my report.
All right, hearing none. Chief of Police, Neil Fertelman.
Thanks, Mayor. During the month of March, we investigated 10 accidents. That's up from 5 in March of 2016. 3 crimes, down from 6 last March. 151 other incidents. That's down from 205 last March. Of a total of 494 contacts that we had with citizens, 257 of those were dispatched or received by telephone as compared to 298 last March. 237 of those were self-initiated by our officers as compared to 316 last March. We provided assistance to the public in 103 instances, assisted other agencies 29 times, made a total of 41 criminal arrests compared to 32 the previous year, and 82 traffic arrests as compared to 55 the last year. As you saw at the beginning of the council meeting, we are extremely excited and ecstatic to be at full strength. We're not in the hiring process for the first time in about a year. We have been extremely selective in our candidates, and thus far we have been very fortunate in selecting excellent police officers, and we're very hopeful that that will prove to be the case with our latest hire. So thank you for all the assistance that you've given us in moving forward with that. Our residents do continue to be vexed by some, as are all of us, by some persistent telephone solicitors. We've got specific information on some of the latest calls on our website. But in general, if anyone is listening to this broadcast, we would urge you that if you get a telephone call from someone that you don't know, and you don't want to speak with, don't hesitate to hang up. I know that many of us seem to be so courteous, but if it is a legitimate solicitor, you could place them on their no-call list if they're that persistent. But as with all things, this may not work. It doesn't work all the time. You can block an incoming telephone number in your telephone provider, or most teenagers could help you figure that out. Never provide any information about yourself or your financial accounts to anyone that you don't know. We do have the National Drug Take Back Day that's coming up this Saturday, April 29th, from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. That really strikes home. We had a conversation before the meeting about how many heroin addicts start with pain meds, and those are sometimes left over. Those are sometimes situations where they've been prescribed them and they can't quite quit even though the doctor has discontinued the prescription. And they move on to other things that fill the need, and that unfortunately eventually leads to heroin. Problem isn't going away. We just had an overdose here in our community this past weekend. So it's extremely important to get those expired meds out of the house. In fact, every day is National Drug Take Back Day in Greenhills because we have the box in our lobby. It fills up regularly. We are always sending those unused meds back to the DEA. So we urge anyone, whether it be Saturday or any day, to come with your expired prescription pills, no liquids or needles, please.
Now, will it also take expired, like aspirin, non-prescription stuff?
Yes, as long as it's not sharps or supplies like diabetic supplies and all that, mainly just the medications. It's better that the way that it is disposed of when we get it rather than putting it into the water supply.
Yeah.
We were awarded successfully 36 bicycle helmets through a grant from the state of Ohio. Those will be used in our upcoming bike rodeo. We're pretty excited about that. That is scheduled for Saturday, June 10th, between 11 and 3. It'll be at the middle school at 147 Farragut. Officer Zach Clark has put this event together, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I told the manager that she's going to have to send out a one call because we're going to have 2 helicopters land, and you know how that goes. So we'll get all kinds of calls on that. But we'll have air care that is landing for a demo, and the sheriff is going to send his helicopter. Our colleagues in the fire department will be on hand to assist any parents that want to learn how to properly install child safety seats. In fact, the firefighters will install them for them. The Greenhills Creamy Whip has already donated $200 in ice cream for the participants. And for the Safety Expo, we're going to offer a grand prize to the winner of a new bicycle. It'll be a certificate for a bicycle for the winner. Details are on our website. We ask that our forms be returned by June 8th, so hopefully that'll be a really good community event. On to the good news department. On March 28th, we received this from a local pastor. The pastor wrote, "I am a resident who has lived on Burley Circle for the past 2 years, moving here with my family to be a part of a wonderful village and to make a difference in our neighborhood. My wife forwarded me your February report, and I wanted to thank you for a detailed, positive, and encouraging word. On a few occasions, I have had contact with your officers and found them to be nothing less than professional and friendly with a servant's heart. I know that this culture within your department comes from the top, so I appreciate what you do to help enable this positive spirit. As a pastor, I have long encouraged my church to pray for and care for our first responders. As a resident of our amazing village, I will pray even more so for you, your department, and all of our public servants. Thank you for what you do to make our community safe and secure. May God continue to be with you and your officers." On to other good news department. If you approve the appropriations ordinance that is before you tonight, we will be tomorrow setting up the police donation fund. That will be an operation to provide for those that we encounter, for example, in the middle of the night, that may have a need that we haven't even foreseen, whether it be clothing, whether it be shelter, or whatever it might be. The account has been funded through the generosity of Dr. and Mrs. John Cupoletti and our area churches. So we're very honored that they have entrusted that with us. Lastly, I was contacted this month by a Greenhills resident and a very big supporter of our efforts in citizen-based activities regarding upcoming sessions of the Citizens Police Academy. We had been charging a very modest fee for participants to offset the cost of the shirts and access to the driving and firearm simulators used during the training. This resident, who wishes to remain anonymous, donated $1,000 to further our efforts in setting up citizens programs. We're very excited to receive this very generous funding. It will be used for our citizen events and especially for the upcoming fall session of the Citizens Police Academy, which now, of course, will be fee-free. The goodness of our residents continues to be humbling, and we're honored to provide those services for them. So if anyone is interested, please call us, come up and see us, or take a look on our website. We'd sure like to fill that session up. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Comments or questions? All right, thank you, Chief. Good job. All right, the mayor's report, court receipts for the month of March. The county received $115.50. The state received $3,373. And the village of Greenhills, $16,777.62. For a grand total, if the math was done correctly, of $20,266.12. And the only other thing I have is earlier this month, I issued a proclamation declaring April Autism Awareness Month. And so I just wanted to report that since we didn't have our meeting a couple weeks ago. But the month is about over now. But it was posted in the posting places within the village. All right, that's all I have. Committee reports, safety, Melanie Harpers.
No report. We meet every other month, so our next meeting is, that's what I checked my calendar, because May is a 5 Tuesday month, so it is May 23rd at 5:15.
All right. Finance and audit, Mr. Dries.
Hold on, I gotta make sure that's in my calendar correctly.
23rd at 5:15?
5:15.
5:15.
Got it. We did meet April 13th. We talked about the budget. We're right on target. We talked about the budget process. This is insanity for me. We're starting our 2018 budget already now that we're rock solid almost 4 months into 2017. We discussed an appropriation, and I'll have a resolution this evening, and then also we will adjourn into executive session to discuss employment and compensation of a village employee, and I do not anticipate any action tonight, and that concludes my report.
Comments, questions? Recreation Cable TV, Maria. Walker.
We did not have any meetings on the cable department because it's only once a quarter. For the recreation committee, I met with my co-chair, and we just work out some more of the details for the different events that we're going to have throughout the year, and we fine-tune some of the information that we have. I also met with the village manager, and I will be meeting with her again next month, and I believe it's, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's the 9th.
Sounds right.
In the morning, and that's where we're doing in everything that we have found out for the process of the day at the pool, for the Harvest Fest, etc. So far we have the band, so far we have the American Legion. We are fine-tuning the details for a beer garden. We have a young lady that was before also with us last year, Wendy Oakley, and she will be back. We have the doggy parade coming through. Confirms also the SPCA to be on the premises. Is it going to be also for adoptions?
Yes.
Correct? Yes. Okay. So we are just trying to work all the details for that. I keep getting information, questions from people that are saying, like, when are the packets coming out, etc. And I will discuss that with you in May.
Right, and if the emailed ones went out, and we actually, I think, have already gotten 3 back.
Okay.
from vendors.
Okay. And that concludes my report.
Comments or questions? Intergovernmental affairs, laws, and rules. Jack Lee?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The committee met yesterday morning, actually. We were updated on the revised resolution that was sent concerning the state budget concern, and those have been mailed to the appropriate people. As far as new business, we took up a bit of housekeeping relative to our ordinances to comply with state law regarding indigent burial policy. Since there's not a cemetery in Greenhills, it's kind of a moot point, but we do have to have that part of our ordinances and at an appropriate time that will be coming forward to council. We also discussed revisions to the email and email retention policy for the employee handbook. That will be coming to council in due time, as well as an amendment to the building code fee schedule, reducing a fee regarding reconstruction of porches or porticos. And that also will be coming to council in due time. So unless you have any further questions concerning committee. And if I could, Mr. Mayor, if I just address one thing while I have the floor. Our retreat, we had about 15 to 20 different items to cover. Spending half a day creating a mission statement is really kind of a waste of time when you have that volume of material to cover. And I'd be happy to share that with you at a proper time. So I didn't want you to think I was being flippant with you, but I'm just curious why you wanted. So that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Comments or questions? Hearing none, Service and Streets, and Mr. Cavode's got an excused absence. Do you have anything to report for him?
Our Mr. Cavode was unavailable yesterday, so our meeting was canceled. We'll tentatively reschedule Streets and Services for the 22nd of May at 5 p.m. And if I could amend my committee, Kathy, we'll also have laws and rules on May 22nd at 4 p.m. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Community Development, Mr. Halder.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I guess the first thing I would like to cover is the walking paths. Got quite a bit of history with walking paths, just to lay some groundwork. Designed the labels, worked real closely with Doug and Diana Kohler, and we spent quite a bit of time putting them down, working with the sign company, trying to find out what was the best adhesive, and we didn't hold back on any of the quality, hoping that they would stay down. After we put them down the first time, I know of one incident where it was pulled up by an individual, a younger kid pulled one up, and then there was the possibility, it looked like when we put them in front of people's houses, some people felt like that was their property and that maybe they didn't want it there. So it does make it more complex, because we really should talk to the individuals, even though we're fully in our right to put down a label on the sidewalk, especially for the walking paths. Then we had to follow up with a nice map. Who was that done by?
Hamilton County.
Hamilton County did a nice job with the map. So I just bring that up because I've invested in it. I'm a believer in it. I finished the replacement labels, the second round of replacement labels in October. It didn't make sense to put them down during the winter. I know that with us taking over the golf course, there's been a lot of other shift of priorities, but those have been in the office here, and we have to still replace those that are missing. I'm not sure what else I could do on my end. The other question that came up was benches. We decided the last meeting not to put benches on private property. We didn't feel the need matched the complexity that was going to be introduced. So that decision was made at the last community development meeting. I can, once I get the minutes finalized, somebody can take, you're welcome to take a look at those.
We weren't going to put them on private property.
Well, in front of private property, it would have been the responsibility of an individual to maintain those.
And they knew that. They
Yeah.
agreed on that.
I understand that, but we didn't feel the need was strong enough to put the benches there. We have walking paths throughout the village. We're surrounded by a park. It's hard to know where to put those exactly. Again, not a strong need. If they were individual residents that were coming from different quarters, but it's my understanding that you went and talked to those people and asked if they would like a bench. That's a little bit different than people coming to us individually and saying, hey, this is a really strong need. That was just our feeling at the time. It doesn't mean we can't revisit it. We thought there were some legal issues to be cautious about. So that was the decision, the last community development meeting. And then I will add on to the mission statement. I am a big, big advocate of it. I have brought it up. Lots of times we have a pretty full plate, so it's hard to get it in there. The thing that's tricky in my experience about mission statements is, there's a lot of businesses and a lot of places that have a plaque somewhere that gets dusty. The big key is, are you following through on that mission statement and making sure it's not this real wordy, no one can wrap their hands around it. So I am very much in sync with being very concise on a mission statement. I think it's a really good and strong recommendation. It's been on my radar to try to work that even from my own committees. I had one for the Design and Beautification Committee, but I do think it helps us if you can really settle in on your purpose and your why. It goes a long way. So I do applaud that comment, and we need to put something together from my perspective. But that would conclude my report at this time.
Okay. Comments or questions?
I have two questions. Well, actually, a question and a statement. On the mission statement, and I agree with you, we are so crowded on the retreat day when we are doing what we're doing, and we try to do that at the beginning of the year. What precludes us from meeting at the end of the year to prepare towards that retreat and prepare the mission statement at that time? I don't think that it will take a whole day to do so, and perhaps we can volunteer some of hours, a couple of hours here or there, and have that at the end, resume the end where we left off, how we did
Yeah.
after the
That's a good
retreat,
idea.
and
It's an assessment.
and where we need to
That
go
makes
to go
sense.
forward on the following year. So that was just a statement on that. And the sticker, one of the stickers was placed right in front of my house.
Mm-hmm.
I did not take it out, and it was removed. So this was not by the owner that was removed.
No,
Because
it wasn't,
My husband went out and they said, wait a minute, the sticker was there yesterday and it's not there
Yeah.
today.
and we really don't have an answer. It's, you almost have to test it and see. I use the best adhesive, have them use the best adhesive they possibly could use. And I'm not saying that all the ones that came up didn't come up by themselves. We tried to flame treat. Now you can acid treat, and I did look into that. There's just a lot. You could pressure wash, but getting a pressure washer to each location, in the beginning, the cost isn't prohibitive enough to put them down just a couple times to see if they'll stay, whether they're being peeled up or not, I don't know. I don't have a good answer
I mean, it
for
was
that.
there and then it wasn't.
Right.
I'm just going to tell you that.
Yeah.
And neither Thad or I removed it.
Sure.
Promise on that.
I'm
And also,
sure.
when you're revisiting, if you want to revisit or have a desire or a need, we need to revisit the benches. Perhaps also, we need to revisit maybe have a map of the benches on the public areas, where is more frequented, and people, I see the ones on Winton used all the time.
Sure.
I say the ones in the commons use all the time.
Sure.
That doesn't mean that,
Pocket parks is another.
yes,
location.
correct. And so maybe if we revisit that at some point in time, we should perhaps look on the public areas, the village public areas, not the ones that are linked with homes or anything like that.
Sure.
That are part of that path, because the baby boomers are booming, and some of them have already boomed, and it takes a while, and some people may need to sit down and rest. So.
But it's very, just as you know, it's a very hard thing to quantify and measure and know where.
I understand, but
Exactly.
perhaps, and I know that you're very busy, but perhaps we can have like a little map of the benches that we have and identify the areas of walking
That's in process.
and
now,
see if
so.
we need,
Yeah.
some
I
other
mean,
area.
and it's not to take away from the need. At the time with the legal questions,
I
there was-
understand
There's
that.
maintenance
I-
questions, transfer of ownership of
I understand.
homes, there's, it's,
Yeah.
I
What
understand.
is the need? What is the need? How many people are using those paths? How often do they have to sit down? Where is it happening?
Well, we have to,
It's-
we
I
need
think
somehow
you
to
spent a lot of
evaluate that
time
at
on
some.
this issue.
And
Okay,
the
hold
map,
on.
Okay, and what I've got,
Enough questions on this, let's move
Okay,
on.
so I've got
We
one
can
more-
discuss this in the work session.
one other comment, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
We put together a window cling
Yeah,
that goes
and I
on the
got one.
back, on the back of
Yeah.
your car rear window. I'm also looking at getting, the thing is, it's a little bit trickier with the bumper stickers because the price, the price on the bumper stickers wasn't bad. I'm confusing that with the license plate. I wanted to just give you a quick update on
Okay.
that. The license plate frame, a high-quality one is $3.13, but you have to buy $800 worth, which is $200. So that gets a little farther out on the limb, not knowing how many people want those. And that was, two different places had a minimum order quantity of 200. So you can get them cheaper, down to 81 cents, but everything I can see, it's really, really cheap. And I don't know if we're going to put our name on something, I don't want it breaking and being gone in 2 days. The bumper stickers are under $1, UV coated, and I can order 200 of those, and so we're looking at $150 some dollars for those, and so I'm gonna, I've gotten permission to go ahead and order those, and we can make those.
Yeah, but the
possibly
license
available.
plates I was meaning the ones that are issued by the state.
Yeah, and that, I have the starting information on that,
Okay.
but I don't have enough to make a report on that.
And if
one.
we need to find out how many people are willing to do that.
My
maybe
understanding is 25 was the minimum.
we can put something on the website saying,
Yep.
please respond if you would like to
The-
be included on this, and we need to have a number on that.
Right, and the only thing I would say it's tricky about that is if you don't meet that 25 a year
Correct.
number, the village gets stuck with a higher price and
Correct.
penalty tax.
Correct.
So it's kind of hard to say, yeah, I can find 25 or 50 people this year.
Yes,
but
but whether it will
yeah,
sustain.
We're kind of signing up for something.
Correct,
and-
correct.
But I
It's not
think
the-
that was a good suggestion.
It's not in the category of a bear cat, because a lot
Right.
more people are having kids going to UC.
Right.
I understand that.
But I mean, I thought it's a good idea. I mean, the more we can get these window clings and hopefully some
Mm-hmm.
bumper stickers out there, and start to really take some pride in our community. And I think that,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good thing, People will be
Okay.
less apt to throw something out. during-
And one thing when you were talking about maps, putting the pocket parks on there, because I can't tell you if I've probably been to Peanut Park, but I can't tell you how to get there. So just having something,
It's any park you bring peanuts to, isn't it?
oh, yes, that is it. So,
Okay, moving on, new business, resolution number 2017-15-F, making supplemental appropriations. Mr. Dries.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have Resolution 2017-15F, a resolution making supplemental appropriations and transfers, whereas the 2017 annual appropriations that were adopted on December 27, 2016 are to be amended, and whereas appropriations must not exceed total available resources of the village per Ohio Revised Code, Section 5705.36A5. Therefore, an amended certificate of estimated resources has been requested from the County Budget Commission. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, Section 1. Since certain actions are needed in the monies appropriated so to permit the Village of Greenhills to meet its fiscal obligations for the year 2017, the following items of expenditure are to supplement the appropriations for expenditure for the year 2017. Fund 1000, Police Enforcement Other. Prior appropriation was 0, an additional appropriation charge of change of $1,330 for a revised total of $1,330. Fund 1000, Capital Outlay, the prior appropriation was $98,000. Appropriation change, an additional $15,000 for a total revised appropriation of $113,000. Fund 2908, Golf Course Personnel Expenditure, or Personnel Services, prior appropriation was 0. Appropriation change $10,000, total revised appropriation $10,000. Fund 2908, Golf Course Other, prior appropriation $32,000, appropriation change a decrease of $10,000 for a total revised appropriation of $22,000. Section 2, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after the earliest date allowed by law. Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
I second.
Okay, been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Want to make a couple comments?
Sure.
Yvonne?
Sure. That first item, again, is to reflect donations into the general fund for the police department. Under capital outlay, the $15,000 is our estimated cost, which should get underway next week for electrical upgrades that are in the storage area below the deck of the pool.
And those affect more than the pool, right?
Right, they affect more than the pool, yes. They just happen to be located right there. The golf course, what we're doing there, actually, if you look at the last one, the $32,000, we're taking $10,000 out of there. It was originally allocated all for contractual services. We're taking $10,000 out of there and putting it into personal services to pay for staff time in maintaining the golf course. And that's what we've got.
Okay. All right. Clerk, call the roll.
Dries,
Aye.
Halter,
Aye.
Hermes,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
Walther,
Aye.
Okay, Resolution 2016, no,
2017,
2017.
17.
15F.
We need to change
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, 2017.
change.
Okay.
Change.
All right, passes. All right, need a motion to appoint Mary Schuster to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Somebody want to make that for me?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we appoint, upon your recommendation, Ms. Mary L. Schuster to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. All right, need a motion to convene an executive session to discuss employment and compensation of village employees.
I recommend we do the calendar before doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Calendar.
This Saturday, Arbor Day, 10 a.m. at the playground behind the community building. And then just since May's coming up, the Greenhills pool is opening Memorial Day weekend along with Memorial Day weekend.
Laws and rules on May 22nd at 4 p.m. Streets and services on May 22nd at 5 p.m.
Safety, May 23rd at 5:15 p.m. Not
Okay.
a.m.
I do either.
Okay,
No, you won't.
all right. Do the motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we convene to executive session to discuss employment and compensation of village employees.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Clerk, call the roll.
Halter,
Aye.
Hermes,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
Walther,
Aye.
Dries,
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. We're now in executive session.